Anyway, hey, could you do a quick introduction for the stream just so they know who you are and like maybe how long you've been playing, what character you play? I mean, I guess we'll get to that in the lesson, but it's kind of like what your goals are for Smash.
Yeah, definitely. I've been playing since my first tournament was PAX 2015, and then I play Fox. My tag is Pem Money, but I think most people probably just call me Pem. I think I threw the dollar sign on as a joke. Did
So
not have a
you're
lot
so
of.
you don't have anything to do with the other like the Pem 2K person, right?
No, that's also me.
That's you. Okay, so we've like
Hmm.
played and talked before, right?
Definitely, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. I wasn't sure because I was Pem Money and I was like, I'm not sure if this is the same person. Okay, okay.
yeah. Definitely. No, I swapped it over because every time I go in a stream, everyone says something about M2K, and it's just like those are my initials and then 2000, and I dropped the ball with that one, but. But yeah, since 2015, kind of where I'm at. Usually, I get thrashed by the people who are like, I mean, I wouldn't say thrashed actually, but like state PR, right below state PR, and I've been like starting to practice tech a lot more recently. I'm not, I guess, the most technical player. I like to look for spots where they're gonna run in or where I can hit them because they did something bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's good when I'm in the lead. But a big issue that I have is actually like making those plays when I'm behind.
Okay.
Um, so I want to like kind of figure out stuff that's beyond what I'm doing and maybe a little bit less of like, I don't want people just to run into my moves. Like I want to hit people with my move.
Okay. I think that's a good introduction. Do you want to? What do you want to start with? Do you want to start going over these? Okay, well, we have these notes, and then we have game one versus Mello. Is that what you want to start with?
Yeah, I would be down to start there. This was a tournament on a Saturday, and I got smacked up a bit, to be honest.
Okay. I like the way you describe it. That's tip. That's like kind of like what I say too. It's like I got smacked. It's like it happens.
Definitely. But I think there's like a lot of time that I'm just like scared. It's like I'm not doing a move, I'm not protecting myself. Really, I'm just like sitting in shield and waiting for something to happen. Oh,
Okay.
I'll watch.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Discord screen share up.
Perfect.
All right. Do you want to go over the notes before I watch like the notes you gave me before we watch the video or after?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I think that would be good because we can kind of just like look out for some of the stuff that I see at least. And then like also other stuff that I think. I mean, you said it recently in one of the lessons you did. It's like stuff that I think is good that isn't good. So things that I'm like doing on purpose that like I really should just stay away from.
Okay. Let's see. Bad up smashes into aerial. Bad shield drops. Where do I run and what can I set up when I'm on plat when they're below me? Okay. Overextension to corner. Bad full hop nairs. Bad offensive drills. Running into grab when trying to running shine. Wait? What do you mean by running in? Oh, running into grab. Like you run and then they grab you before you shine. I get it. Okay,
Right.
yeah, no, that's a very common thing. Okay. Things I want to know are positions to crouch cancel. Okay, that's an interesting one. I think that's a tricky question, but I think it's good. It's a good question to ask. What to do when I know they'll do an aerial on me? Example: Chic Fair or Marth Fair or dash in. What to do when I know they'll do an aerial on me? Chic Fair.
Like there are spots, and it's mostly when I'm thinking like I'm in the corner, right, and they're kind of
Mm-hmm.
looking for me to come out. So like, Martha's probably going to catch me like with a fair, or they're gonna like do dash back something
Do you
if I
mean
try and
like
attack out of the corner.
do you mean like short hop late aerials? Or
Kind of
okay.
like ways to get around those, or like to actually catch them out. Because
Yeah,
I
you're saying like when your opponent is trying to hit you with like a late aerial or like an early aerial.
That's a good question. I hadn't
Okay.
thought that far into it. I was
Okay.
thinking I like run into it. Probably it's probably an earlier aerial if I like start the dash. So I
Okay.
would guess it's probably an early fair.
Alright, let's see. When this happens, I try and dash or wave dash back, but overextend trying to catch their dash back.
So like
Okay, well, what do I do here? Should I be looking for them to run in at me, especially when I'm at high percent and behind? They usually won't go into wait into into me unless they're bad. I get baited into overextending Fox short hop Narian under platform. I try to up smash it because I don't like dashing back in the corner. Can't full hop drill it because I land on the platform if I try. Okay, I'll keep these in mind while we're watching. So this is kind of something minor, but there are a lot of situations where, like, say if Marth is short hopping at you in the corner and he's already kind of at the peak of his full hop, or sorry, his short hop, and he's just going to be coming down with fair. A lot of times the only option that you have that actually works is to go to ledge and then ledge dash off. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm not sure if it'll come up at all during the video, but there are a lot of situations where that's like kind of necessary. If you don't want to like do a disadvantageous mix-up. Okay, so wait, which one are you?
I'm green.
You're green. Okay. All right, so let's see what's going on. Okay, let's see what happened here. So, okay, it opens up. You go here, you dash dancing here. I think this is good. Kind of a pointless drill, but that's okay. You do this, he does these lasers. Okay, that was solid. I think that was good by you. I like the up smash there. That was totally fine. I think that's like a really good opening, actually. If you had caught this back air with a back air or something, it would have been like basically a stock.
Yeah, I was looking for the roll in and up air. And I think I need to, instead of like just calling one of those, do the coverage of 2 and then call the 1.
Yeah, it's kind of just a personal choice for like what you think is the best option there. Let's see, what did you do here? Okay, so far both of your neutral openings have been like really solid, so. Okay.
I held the angle on that one.
This was a little ambitious, and you got caught for it. Okay. Just gonna kind of watch for a second. Okay, so far it seems pretty, honestly, fairly solid so far. I think you've messed up a couple important punishes, but other than that, your neutral game doesn't look too bad. Okay. I'm curious what you do at this percent. I'm curious.
When they're like 126, I kind of look for them to jump because I want to get the back air or the grab.
Okay, that was
I think
fine.
there's another point in the set where like it's kind of a similar position and I do like a wave dash back. He's on that same left side platform and I do like the full hop back air into him.
Yeah, so this is something that's good with Falco doing this, like this kind of thing, but this is awful with Fox. Like there's no reason to ever do this. Because if you hit someone with Shine, you're never going to get a combo out of this situation, like literally ever. And they're not in a situation where they're going to go off stage from it. So if he's like right here and you think he's going to shield drop, then maybe this is fine because it could hit him off the stage. But doing like these towards the stage, like basically just shines when he's on the platform. Like there's no reason to be doing any of this. The correct answer here is almost always to dash dance and either short hop up air and try to poke here or something. Like if he shield drops into the up air, a lot of times he'll just get hit. Or you do a dash dance and then full hop back air to center so that you can hit his shield and get center, and that's like pretty much all you can take in that situation.
And when you say do that full hop back air, where could you put your mouse on where that full hop would actually start?
Yeah, you're going to dash dance and then probably full hop right about here probably. So that you go up like this and then the back air hits him, like the tip of the back air hits him as you're fading away. And then that way he can't actually shield drop punish you.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'll try and like short hop that or catch the tail in that situation kind of. And I do get back aired for it a lot.
Yeah, so the Yeah, just basically the full hop back air here is the best thing because you could like you actually have a mix up of like if you're dash dancing right here, he doesn't know which side, like he doesn't know whether you're gonna back air from this way or back air from this way, and obviously this way is like the more solid one, so you want to do this one more often. But then sometimes they'll angle their shield in a way where you can just easily hit the opposite one. But yeah, normally the full hop back air there is what you want. Okay, you missed a punish. So far, the biggest thing has actually looked like missing punishes, like, and then also maybe not going for the best punish in a situation. Like, it's kind of like doing like so with Fox. There are a lot of situations where you can do sort of like a quote optimized punish where it appears to be like, well, I can't really keep this combo going, so I can use this move, which is like the strongest finisher I have, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times that doesn't actually get you as much as you want. Like, Fox kind of has to end combos in a way where he has a big advantage in the upcoming neutral situation, more so than ending with like a strong move. And I'll point it out if we go back or there's another situation that comes up with that. But that's something that I'm kind of noticing. Okay, that was good. Yeah, there's you going for the shines on the platform again. Don't do that. That's like
I think I actually do another here too.
That's a very easy thing to fix. It's not very valuable. And you die for it. Wow. Yeah, so this is like why you don't really go for this, because you do this and then he just goes, oh, and he catches you with on the shield drop. Okay. Honestly, that game, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Honestly, a big portion of this game felt like the issue was you sort of missing your punishes. Like, I feel like a lot of the basic interactions were definitely like there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was like this opening, for example, like this is very good to do this and then to bait that. It's pretty standard like opening, but then you miss your punish right here because you said you were going for like the tech in, but you can legit just react to this with like a back air. If you want to go for the 50-50 up air, that's okay, but I would say that it's better to either like basically I think it's better to either to just go for, like in this case, like right here, I think it's definitely better to immediately go for the full hop up air right here. Mm-hmm. And then just tech chase if they go over here. And the thing is like, let's say they tech chase over here, but they're not completely out of your combo yet. You can still mess with them. Like, you can still like run over, and then if they try to do something to get out of your stuff, you still have like a pretty good advantage here. So like you can kind of still keep your combo going out of that, or you could just react to this with a back air. But either way, and like because that'll get them off stage. But either way, like it's pretty important to like not miss stuff like that. See, he gets that same back air there, and even though look, he was at 47 when you could have gotten that back air right here, and you don't get it. And then look, he does the same thing to you at 31, and look at how dangerous this feels for you. It's the exact same reaction, and it feels like you could die.
No, definitely, because I can get the edge guard out there instead of like just trying to have them come into me to center. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I should pressure that a little more. Kind of a similar question, not really the same, but if I say instead of like doing that back air, I was actually on the platform and I had done like a waveland grab, and I was standing like on the far outside of it. Mm-hmm. If they're higher percent and I up throw them, if they do the full DI out and I don't have like the running space, mm-hmm. am I able to hit them there? Or do I kind of just have to like look for their jump or the edge?
Okay, so in those situations, the first thing is you almost never want to grab all the way to the edge. Like a lot of times, so there's two options you have. One is that you can run or dash shield grab. So you can shield right here and then grab, and that way you have the running space. Or you can dash and then grab a little bit early so you're not right on the edge. And then the next option is that this is like a really common one because so basically if you grab them right here and you're facing out and they full DI out, you get an edge guard, but it's not really like what you want out of that. It's not like because you don't get to like throw them out and then hit them again. So you know that they're DIing out. So usually the best option here is to back throw. And you kind of get like a 50-50 with the back throw where like if you up throw and they DI in, you get an easy combo on the platform. And then if they DI out and you back throw, you also get an easy combo on the platform. So at the very worst, you at least have a 50-50 with the back throw here.
Gotcha.
And that's just like really, really common. You'll see this so many times in top Fox matches, especially like on the top platform. Someone will throw the Fox, they tech chase with up air, they re-grab, they go to top platform, they go on the top platform, then like they up air again to the top platform or something like that. The enemy Fox techs away, they grab, and then they're like at kill percent or something like that, and then the Fox will back throw here into up smash on the top platform. And they do that because the person is DIing off the platform for the easiest escape. So, okay, so here's another... So, do you understand the whole back throw 50-50 thing now?
Definitely,
okay,
yeah.
So,
no, that helps a lot.
Yeah, okay. So, and then also don't be afraid to sometimes forward throw. The DIOA won't really help, but, like, sometimes if the person is, like, deep into, like, the idea of, like, the back throw, maybe not necessarily up on here, but if you're like right here, I would say instead of going for the back throw, just sometimes forward throw here. Actually, I forward throw here almost every time, but people have different opinions on that. Like if you're right at the edge of the stage. But anyway, this is actually a really big one right here. Is don't ever do this ever.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst mistakes, or should I say one of the most common mistakes in like the entire community with Fox is wave dashing to move. Like wave dash has a little bit better acceleration than dash, but it starts later, and so there's no point during the wave dash where you're actually further away from your opponent than you would be by dashing. Because it takes the 3 frames to start up. And you don't get a punish here. This is, like, really big. Like, this needs to be completely removed from your play. This will prevent you from getting good at Fox, literally. And I see this problem. It's so common in the community. And because wave dashing, it feels good to dash around and kind of wave dash, and it feels trickier than normal movement. I think you do this wave dash here. Even this is not good. You can, you'll see pretty much everyone do wave dashes, but there is no world in which this is a better option than dashing here. The only time you want to wave dash for movement is if you're planning on immediately up tilting after the wave dash. And that is a pretty consistent hard rule.
In the so in that situation where I like wave dash back away from his up tilt, if I was to like dash back instead, what do I do to get around his up tilt there? Because I feel like in that situation, I'll like dodge the first one and then I run into the second one.
Right here, if you dash back, this is a whiff punish. This is whiff punishable.
Yeah.
And if you're running into the second one and you're pretty sure he's gonna do a second one, then just get super ready to react to the next one. Like, you can Uncle Punch this, basically, of just dash in or get close to Fox, or dash in and then dash out, and if you see him up tilt, it's similar to reacting to if you dash in and somebody's if you dash in, dash back, and somebody spot dodges. It's a pretty easy grab reaction. So you just have to be like aware of like that he might do like because clearly you're wave dashing back to like avoid something like this. Like I don't know. Do you think was your thought here that he was literally going to up tilt? Because if you thought he was going to up tilt, that makes this even easier.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought he was, because I saw that position. I was like, oh, I'm either getting bared or up tilted was my
Yeah,
thought.
because he wave dashed here, or he wave landed right here, and he's facing backwards. Even if he's not facing backwards, you still have to watch out for it. But he wave landed here, and a lot of times that's a good setup for up tilt. So, like, if you're aware of that, just dash back, and then if he up tilts, Fox is definitely fast enough where if you dash back, even if you're, like, right here, when you see the up tilt, you can just run back in and grab him. I promise it'll work. If it doesn't work, then Uncle Punch it. Like, because this is this is definitely a situation you can punish.
Definitely.
So that wave dash is huge. Just do not do that. Do not do that. It'll lose you so many opportunities. Even stuff like this, where you do this wave dash away. This once again, like let's say, he does another up tilt here. Or let's say he does a short hop back here in place. You won't be able to punish it ever because of this wave dash. This wave dash will prevent you from getting so many neutral wins. So you really don't want to do it. And then you get this, which was really, really good. This was perfect spacing, so good job on that. I would have said probably better here to up tilt. Right here.
Yeah, because I don't get too much off of this.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a situation where you'd want to up tilt because at the very least you'll get a back air. And if he goes to the top platform, you'll probably get like more off of it, potentially like a kill. Because actually, like if you do grab, up throw, up smash, it kills really early off the platforms. Like it'll kill in like the late 70s, depending on the situation. And so like you from here doing an up tilt just opens up so many more options for you than the up smash. So that's just a small detail, but important nonetheless. This is okay, but you're probably gonna get caught by this. I would say probably one. I don't have much to say there actually. It's fine. Yeah, there's that. Don't go for that. This is like a situation where it's kind of like, look at. So this is that exact same thing. It's funny that he keeps doing the same things I mentioned. So you get your shield out, but he does this back air. Remember this back air I was talking about earlier? This is the one you can do out of the dash dance. So where does he start it? I think he starts it a little bit further back than he needs to necessarily. Yeah, so he jumps from here. And even though he jumps from all this way, like literally right here on the platform, when you shield it, even though you get pushed towards him, it's really difficult to get this shine. You were slow. You actually might have been able to hit it, but it wouldn't have gotten you anything anyway. So just, like, basically, if you shield this back air, that is a win for you. Because you were in a bad spot. So, like, if you shield that back air, just be like, yay, like, I did it. Like, there's no need to punish him. It's just a neutral reset.
Gotcha.
Okay. That was a pretty good recovery, actually, except for the angle mess up. But I like the spacing you did on it. And then, there's no reason to really do this, like, you kind of shield here just sort of unnecessarily. Like, he's, like, way over here. And you like spot dodging and stuff. Like basically like right let's see. Yeah, so here's the situation. So I don't know why he doesn't go in for this punish, but you have to recognize that like once he's here, like there's no reason to do this spot dodge. Like look how far away he is, you know? So it's kind of like especially in the Ditto, and I mean I guess just with Fox in general, like the position you're in actually sometimes doesn't actually the position you're in that might feel bad, but it doesn't necessarily dictate the situation all the time. And a lot of times as Fox, sort of the body language that you give off can actually dictate the situation, where like kind of like if you were posturing really hard that you wanted to press out of the corner, like rather than doing the shield spot dodge, like if you were just kind of dash dancing here and acting like you were gonna press out, then he has to completely change how he approaches this situation, and it changes the types of situations that'll actually happen based on like what intention you projected from where you are. But because you're sort of projecting like that you're afraid of his options, even though he's at 83 and you're at 0, it completely changes like his confidence to go in for like these nairs and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, this early full hop drill is not like... I was gonna say that like in this situation, like right here, where if you dash back and he's coming in, you almost always want a full hop here. Because, so the thing I tell people, that the interesting point in Fox Dittos is that if you full hop, the only thing the other Fox has that actually hits you is his own full hop. Like if you full hop and you're up here, none of the short hop options, none of the grab, none of the grounded options, none of those moves actually hit you. So if you full hop and then you wait for a second to see what he does, like so let's say you full hop and he up smashes, you get a free punish. If you full hop and he grabs, you get a free punish. If you full hop and he short hop nairs underneath you, you just land and you're back in neutral. And if you full hop and you don't, and like let's say you full hop and he just dash dances and he's waiting for you to fall so he can punish you, you can just double jump away to the platform and you're totally safe. So you created a situation, but if you full hop here, where if he throws something out, you get a free win in a lot of cases, or a neutral reset down here if he crosses you up, or a neutral reset on the top platform. So I would say using the full hop in neutral is something that you might want to focus on a little bit more, because I haven't really seen you do it much.
Shit, definitely.
Like
yeah, I think I see myself
like defensive full hops. What was that?
Oh, I was saying I think I see myself doing a lot of like fall down. Like I'll do a full hop, but the only thing I do out of it is like I'll try and fall down with like bear or fall down with a drill. And then I get hit for it because they're just looking for it. I also do a lot of bad double downs where I'll notice like I do that drop down back air and then I up tilt the landing. And I think that's a big...
I like the idea of calling that a double down. I think that's I haven't really thought of calling it like that, but like landing with the bear and then up tilting there is definitely like trying to push the exact same thing. Okay, so this is a situation I think is also important to take a look at. So you see this back air and you dodge it, and then there isn't actually a point to this down air. Like, your goal should be to avoid your opponent's strong options. With a lot of times it's going to be full hop or dash dance. But when you get an opening, you don't want it to just be a pointless guess. Like, basically, like imagine like, let's say you're taking like a multiple choice test or something, and you just literally guess a random option. You will have some chance of succeeding. But like, if let's say you're on the multiple choice test and you're able to know for sure that it's not one of the options out of like 4, then even if you choose randomly out of those 3, you have a way higher chance of hitting. So the more information you can like load onto your approaches, and the more you like, basically you should be trying to bait him, and then if you notice that his spacing has a certain pattern, then you can do an aerial. Like, you're like, let's say he dashes in, you dash back, then he dashes away, and then you dash in, and that's sort of like the neutral loop that happens. Like, let's say that happens twice, where it's like bup. Then the third time, when he dashes in, then that's when you might want to do like a down air here. But like, you basically just sort of go for it. And this is definitely a situation where you're like, okay, I know that dash dance drill is good, and we kind of just got in this situation where like he threw out that back air, but this is like literally just guessing like a random guess. This doesn't have any weight behind it, because like there's nothing you're necessarily like guessing here. Like, in fact, it's, in my mind, this would be like negative, because look, so he basically, so this is sort of a more generalized, like, high level topic for neutral, but if someone is doing something the probability that they're going to continue doing that thing goes up really sharply. Because even if somebody is a pro and they're doing crazy mix-ups at every situation, they're still, like, they can't change their game plan every moment. So a lot of times if somebody has, like if you see a Sheik and the Sheik they run at you and they back hop and then they forward air. And then they run at you again, the chances of them doing another fair there are, like, way higher than... Did I get it? No! There's a moth in my room I'm trying to kill. I barely missed it again. Okay, the chances of them doing the same thing goes up a lot, and so you can sort of use that to your advantage. So in this case, he tries to wall you with this back air, and so the chances of him, like, after this walled back air, immediately naring in or something are pretty low. So you can kind of guess that in this case, he's kind of still in the defensive mindset where he's trying to keep you out. And this isn't a guarantee, but remember, you're trying to remove his options mentally to sort of get better odds for yourself somehow. Because otherwise it's just meaningless. Like, otherwise you're both just dash dancing, there's no information, and then someone just throws out an aerial. And I know it can feel like that a lot of times, but that's definitely not how you should think of it. So yeah, this is kind of a pointless down air, and he does go for the retreat and punish, which is like what he was kind of like implying that he was trying to do. So it's just something to sort of watch out for. This is okay, but like right here, I think you actually might have been able to grab here after the up air. Usually up air is not super safe on shield. And just another situation of, like, if you land, like, a shine here, like, yes, that's great, you landed the shine, it doesn't get you anything. Like, it'll get you some percent, but it's not even like, oh, well, it let me escape the situation, because that wasn't a situation to escape. He did a bad up air. Like, you shielded this up air, this was bad by him. And I'm pretty sure like, look, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if you had grabbed him, this would have been an easy shield grab. And so it's like, you don't necessarily, I'm not telling you that I expect you to perfect shield grab every time or something, but, like, if he is doing this up air here, if you grab him, you kill him. He is dead. Where if you get the shine here, you get nothing. And so, like, sort of keeping in mind, like, high reward options and, like, going for those a bit more often is something pretty important. Like, a guaranteed win versus, like, a guaranteed win of a situation that gets you nothing is oftentimes worth less than a high value option that will sometimes win.
Gotcha, yeah, because when I play, like, I kind of get into the situation where I'm just like, I need this guy away from me right now, because I don't feel like I win those little scramble things very often. So that's why I go for the shine. Mm-hmm. But if I can, like, avoid that, like, scramble altogether, like, with that sort of, like, shield grab, like, I'm down to take a little bit more risk for sure.
And also, if you feel like you lose most of the scrambles, that is actually a reason to do more scrambles. Like, in training. Like, if you're practicing, anytime you notice, especially in a Ditto, the Ditto is really useful for this, because anytime that you notice that there's a situation where you almost always lose in a Ditto, you should actually play towards those situations. Like, not in terms of, like, losing positions, but in terms of, like, if you're kind of in, like, an even or, like, a winning situation, like, on the platform here, and you feel like you usually lose those situations, I would say go with, like, if you can't come up with like, an objective reason about why your positioning was bad, like, if you're on the ground right here and there's, like, a scramble or something, it's basically just points out something that you need to practice more. Yeah. So something's interesting. So you remember this nair that, like, he does this drill and then he does this dash back nair on you that we just went over? Mm-hmm. So look, this is interesting. Watch. It happens exactly again. So you do this. You do this back air, the walling back air. He does the up tilt. He does the nair. Like, you dash back. And you go for this same drill. Mm-hmm. And he does the same nair punish. So that's just the same.
You know, I think we are also going to see that again in this game, where I miss a grab. I try and, like, turn around grab after drilling through him, and I lose for that.
And then, So also,
Actually, it might be on the Yoshi's game.
okay, so I'll start going through these a little faster. This back air feels really...
Oh, you know what? Sorry, my AirPods just died. Holy crap.
Uh-oh.
Let me throw my over-ears on.
Alright, let me know when you're good.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so this back air seems good because you're like, oh, I'm like protecting myself, and if it hits him, it kills and stuff like that. And it's not that bad, but this needs to be like a kind of crazy mix-up rather than like a sort of standard play, because it doesn't like pressure him. Like basically, like if he is doing this and you do this back air here, he's like safe pretty much. And it's like he knows that like he can kind of get even like a punish or like a pressure situation here. So look, so here this actually happens where like you do this back air and you're like, look, I'm protecting myself. But like it has so much lag that when he comes in afterward, even though you're not like, you know, stuck in lag, you still feel pressured enough to like roll, and then he ends up getting an opening out of it. So it's like you would want to be pressuring with your movement more, and then using your attacks when you kind of want to commit, rather than kind of just like walling the back air and being like, if he comes in right now, it's great, and if he doesn't, then I kind of like got slightly behind in neutral. So I'm gonna start moving through a little bit quicker.
For sure.
Just so we can make sure we can at least get through like one more game. Okay, that was good. Once again, there's the shine stuff. Don't do that. That's a situation I like to forward throw in a lot, because you have a potential kill out of it. Okay, that was good. Yeah, this is kind of like if you want, because like what you want is you want control of the match. Like you want it to feel like nothing your opponent does hits you, and when you make choices that they like are like educated guesses rather than just guesses. But by going for this up smash, it's like, it's like, is this an up smash that the greatest player of all time would do? You know, that's kind of like how I try to analyze things, of like, is this like a play that like would make, is like, oh well, he's dominating the entire world of Melee because he does this up smash or whatever. You know, it's like, this is not an up smash that like a perfect player would do. And so like, even if sometimes it gets results or it feels nice because like it has gotten you results before, it's not like you outplaying your opponent. It's you throwing out a move and hoping it hits your opponent. And so it's just, be really careful of those situations, and like do your best that like each opening you do actually means something. Like there needs to be some form of weight to each option, in the sense that like there has to be a reason why you're making the guess in the first place, and it has to include some form of like self-protection or like risk management. And it's just like, there are a lot of situations where like basically if the neutral game had kept going, you might have gotten an opening or like a bait or something like that, but you force it to end by just sort of throwing out a move. And then like, that's like what he did there is right, is you're like imagine that the roles are switched and this is you, is like, he's basically, you're like, his opponent, which is you, is like, oh, look, I'm just going to kind of play neutral and dash dance around. And he's like, I need it to end right now. I need to get out of the corner right now. And you just punish him for it. So kind of like the first layer of the game is like kind of how well you can maintain neutral. Like to not let your opponent hit you. See, okay, that was super good. Look, so look, you don't commit here. You keep playing. And then he gives you an obvious opening, and you take it. That's like the first layer. Like, basically, if you can beat someone entirely by just... These are these wave dashes again. Bad, bad, bad. If you can beat someone entirely by just continuing the neutral game, and then they commit in bad situations, you should do so. You only need to work in your own mix-ups once your opponent has stopped getting hit by your neutral extensions. See, where are those wave dashes? I might have already passed them. There's the shine again, and you die. Okay. So there were a couple repeating issues in there. I think the biggest one is probably not... what's probably the biggest one? The biggest one is probably not really hardcore paying attention to why you're doing... Because you said you wanted to get better at like hitting your opponent with your moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically so hitting your opponent with your moves is actually like, think of it as like layers, and it's actually like kind of like a higher level layer than avoiding your opponent, because it's basically like, let's say you're playing an opponent and the match starts, and you know all they do is they run up and up smash. That's it. And you have to beat this person in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even do any mix-ups. They just literally run at you and up smash. What you would do is you wait for them to get close to you, and then you move out of the way, and they up smash, and you combo them, and you kill them. And that's it. That's all you would have to do to beat that person. And so as the skill of your opponent goes up, then maybe you have to dash dance, and you start doing little dash dance timing mix-ups. Like, this is kind of how a lot of people will... like, I can basically beat people on unranked with only, like, dash dance most of the time. Because you do, like, dash dance, dash dance, dash dance, and then you dash back, and then they go in for some random move, and you just grab them, and you win the game. And basically, if you're playing against someone who, when you do a basic dash dance, and they just sort of throw something out, and you get an easy punish... Mm-hmm. There is no consistent way to approach against those players. You can, but it's not going to work out every time there's no way to like layer information on. Like, there's no way to say, okay, well, he's thinking this or he's doing that, because he's already not, like, he's not playing to the rules of the game. Of like, he's not continuing to play neutral with you. So basically, So you want to do the neutral game, and then if somebody gives it up, you take it. And then once both players have reached that level, where if your opponent throws out something stupid, you can punish it, and you both want to keep the neutral going, then what you can do is you can see the ways that your opponent keeps the neutral going. For instance, when you dash at them, they dash away. And you're like, aha. Because if you're playing somebody and they don't know how to play the game and you dash at them, they might not see that as a threat. And they might just be like, oh, he's in range of my up smash. And then they up smash. And so it's like, versus those players, you would just want to bait out the up smash. But once both players are understandably like coherent at like not getting baited, then you can like, you basically start picking up on patterns of like, they like to protect themselves in this way. So if I do this dash in or I do a jump here, it kind of threatens these things, and they usually, for instance, escape to the platform, or they like to dash back, dash in, or they like to run up and shield, or something like that. These are all ways to kind of keep themselves safe while keeping the neutral going. And once you sort of get a lock on those patterns, subconsciously or consciously, then you can start gambling on more approaches, because you have information that contributes to the possibility of your approaches hitting. But until you can sort of both agree on like this language that you're speaking of neutral game, it's very difficult to predict what your opponent can do, and then that creates these situations where it feels like mindless dash dancing into a drill.
Yeah. You know, that's really interesting about like the extensions specifically, because I think that's one of the things I had mentioned was the bad up smashes, is when I'm at the point where it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? It's like, I'm going to throw this out, because there's a good chance like if I'm just standing still, they're going to run and hit me, but I do lose a lot for that. So I guess like looking more for what they're doing instead of like just, you know, running my neutral script, I guess, is a big piece.
Well, the initial goal should be to protect yourself from anything dumb. And then you also need to notice that your opponent's movement, like you don't actually need to throw dumb things out to realize that your opponent can deal with it. You can usually, like, you can tell after, like, because if you spent enough time trying to keep yourself safe from your opponent, you can also tell when they're trying to keep themselves safe from you. And only when your opponent is also trying to keep themselves safe from you can you start making assumptions about their thought process. And, okay, so here is this thing again where, look at this wave dash. Ugly, ugly wave dash. Just want to hammer this in. So you do this. Where is it? This wave dash. So bad. Bad, 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 bad. Never do this ever. Please. If you take one thing from this lesson, it's to not ever do this wave dash. This wave dash ruins everything. Because, like, look, if you had dashed here, you have so many options. If you dash, you can stop your dash here, 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 here. You can dash in, then you can dash away, then dash in. With this, you're fully committed to this that whole period of time from here to here. There's nothing you can do. You can't do dash in, dash back, dash in, full hop. Also, I want to go over the full hop mix-ups really quick with you. But, yeah, so you can't do the full hop there, and it just puts you in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, I did not think of wave dash as something that, I guess, had lag before this.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of lag, especially compared to dash dance. So you got the dash dance there, that was really good. So look, so here's a situation where you can go for this, but a lot of times I think you don't know what your opponent is thinking right here. So look, you see him walling you, and I guess you take that as like an invitation to come in here, but like, you're basically, so if you think of dash dancing and neutral game as sort of taking space and giving up space, this is like a very greedy dash in right here. So like what you want to do is you want to use your dash dance to manipulate your opponent such that you can take space steadily. Like you're kind of dash dancing and then they dash back and then you dash in just a little bit, and then this is like, you know, because this is kind of like an anchor point for a dash dance. Like if somebody does it like a back and forth, there's like a center point. And what you want to do is you want to get them to dash away and then move your center point closer and then continue doing it. But what happens here is your center point is right here and his is right here. And you take this center point here and you like just take over everything. Like you literally move to here and you tried to up smash him. Like you went from here to like, okay, I'm from here, and now I'm here and I'm up smashing. And this is like a super greedy thing. And so he just basic punishes it because he's like, I'm not going to let you take that much space for free. And the reason why taking space is risky is because during the time where you're taking the space, you can't be throwing out a move. Like you can't have a move out because you need to be taking space. And so this whole area here, you were vulnerable. And he caught you right at the end of it, but you were vulnerable this whole area. And so what you could do from here is maybe move to here and see if he does this nair. Because if you had gone here and you had gone in and then you had gone back and then this was your center point, he might have thrown out this nair and given you an easy punish.
Yeah, and I can pretty much think of that as like a vertical line, right? Because that's where like the full hop stuff comes in, especially when they're in the corner. Yeah.
So here's a situation that you can look at. Kind of like the vertical line stuff again, is here what he did here is, so your center is here, and then his center was here, but what he does is he pretends to establish, I doubt he's actually thinking of it like this, but he pretends to establish that this is his center right here, and your center is over here, and then you're going to start the neutral of like kind of taking space, kind of giving up space, trying to look for the other guy to do something stupid. But he basically was like, look, I'm over here, and then he goes in. This is not a good approach by him. It basically assumes that you're going to take space greedily again because this was your center. You're not going to get hit by that. But you missed the whiff punish, so he gets his jab here, and it makes it look like he won the neutral situation. But it was honestly not that good of an approach. Okay, this is good. This is another, like, look, you did that same thing. Look how greedy this is.
I do the same thing against Sheik too, and I get F tilted for it every time.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, especially against Sheik, it's really useful is you take space, and then because what you want to do is you want your opponent to think you're going to take space greedily, but you almost never want to take it. You want them to be like, man, this guy's going to run all the way in, but instead you're going like, kind of like, nope, not really, and then like a lot of times the Sheik will throw out like a forward tilt or something, and then you get a free punish there.
Yeah.
So you've like the space has been established here of you being. This is like you both kind of know what's going on. You're here, he's here, and then so it's like at any point he can do jump nair right to here. He can just bleh, 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 and you can't react to that. Or he can do dash grab right here. There's nothing you can do to like react to either super fast nair, super fast drill, or dash grab. But they are commitments, and they all reach about right here. So what you can do is you can kind of take this much space comfortably and see what he does. Because if you take this much space, and then he takes this much space, then both of you are kind of in range of the other's unreactable attacks, and so you kind of end up in like, who's going to go for it, and a lot of times when you end up both close like this, the full hop is the best option. Because if he throws something out, you avoid it and you win the situation. But that's sort of like going into neutral more, whereas like you just sort of like, the space is mine, what are you gonna do about it? And it's kind of like, it's just kind of like heavy-handed, it's not calculated. You really want to get a more calculated approach to neutral in that situation. Okay, so that was a good whiff punish by you.
I was so surprised I didn't hit with that nair.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like, oh, fuck.
Here we go. This is a perfect example of a situation where you do win neutral. And it's maybe not a perfect situation, but so look. So you both establish. This is like your line. This is his line. It's established. But you don't give up your line this time. And he thinks you're going to take all the space like you did the last two times. But because you don't take this space, and look, he goes for that same nair I talked about, where like this is a nair he can do unreactably and instantaneously. Right here. So he goes for this nair, and he's basically like, look, every time you're over here, you take at least this huge chunk of space very greedily. So in his subconscious, he's like, all right, if I throw this nair here, he's going to occupy this space and he'll get hit. But because you wait for him to throw out something stupid, you get this punish. And it's not necessarily a true punish, but he had to do something out of that situation, so you ended up in like a favorable mix-up. Yeah, once again, you do well. You're protecting your space without you don't the thing I want to get across, or one of the things I want to get across, is you don't need to throw out a move like walling a back air to protect your space. You can protect your space purely with movement.
Yeah, and I think I was kind of touching on that a little bit, like what I felt like in neutral when I was talking about the overextensions. So that does help a ton. Like, visualizing even just that center line of where I'm dash dancing, I think is gonna help me like anchor and not like run in.
So here's
brainlessly like that.
That's really good. So here's the same sort of situation again, where this is neutral. The dashing neutral, and this is part of why you don't want to wave dash in neutral, is because it gets rid of your threats of like instant nairing in and stuff like that. And so look, so you're right here, but look at how much space you take. You're just like, give me the space is all mine. So look, you're right here, you have established this space, and you're just like instantly, you're like, give me this space, can you give me this space? And he's like, no, like I don't want to give you that much space. So then you get caught out of that. I think this also... Oh, come on. I updated my Slippy, too, and it still does that.
Oh, damn.
So that might explain why you said you get grabbed out of your running shine. Because sort of a classic reason why people get grabbed out of the running shine is that they take too much space, and they basically are like, I'm taking the space, and they make it super known, and so the person just gets out of that space and then hits them with a move. It doesn't matter whether it's a grab or a drill or anything like that. So, okay, so there's that. Let me see. I think... Oh, so we already passed the spot where we were before. Okay. Okay, so there's this. Okay, let me... Okay, so here's where you caught him being greedy on the space. Where these have now been established as these two spacings. This is like an understandable spacing between the two. And he's like, give me the space, all the space, give me the space. And you're like, no. And you just kill him for it because you're like, you took the space. Okay, so here's a spot. Okay, this is a good spot to look at too. So what happens here is he does this back air, which isn't good. The reason, a big reason why this back air isn't good is the farthest this back air can hit is here. And so that means you have full choice of which space you want to be in. So if he does this, you can actually take this space and then make him very scared upon landing. So he's basically giving up the space. So he gives up that much space. You're here. This is an okay range to be in. And then you give up this space by dashing away. The only reason you would want to do that is if you think he's going to approach again. Because otherwise you just sort of gave up an opportunity to take space there. But you go back in. But here's the thing. When you go back in, what you should do right here is take this space and then leave again. Because you're saying, like, maybe I am going in too far. And then you're like, no, I would never do that. And then he might fall for that, you know?
And then he does that nair again. That's okay. I see what you're saying.
But because you take too much of this space and you go all the way in, you get hit.
Got you. I kind of feel like after watching this in slow-mo, even if I... Like, not necessarily if I don't... Well, I guess that's the point, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, is that if I dash in, he's going to do it anyway. But... I see what you're saying.
Give me the space. You just run in like, you're not gonna stop me, and it's kind of like, that's cool, but it's not very effective, you know.
No. I think the thing that like makes me want to do that really bad is people do that same like sort of walling thing that I want to do, and I see, oh, that's like a juicy back air. I'm gonna up smash that, and
yeah, but then it's like way too late to actually up smash it.
Yeah.
So look, and then here's a situation where this is a spacing where, so let's see, where does it end up? Right here. You guys are actually both actionable right here. So this is like actually a dead even situation. But if you do your unreactable approach in the corner, he has nowhere to go. And if he does his unreactable approach out of the corner, and you decided to give up space by moving away, you get a free punish. And that's why you're in an advantage here. And that's why also you have this option of just doing this grab because he has nowhere to go. And so that's just part of why taking space is so good.
I guess I'm literally cutting off the options by putting him in the corner like that.
And then, okay, so we're almost out of time, but I want to go over the full hop mix-ups really quick because we haven't really been able to touch on those enough. So, basically the idea with the full hops is there are a few variations of... Wait, I'm going to do this on FD so he's on the ground. Okay, so... The variation of full hops is I keep doing the Falco Wave dash. Is you're dash dancing like this, and then they come at you, and you kind of do this one, or you like do this, or you do like this. And so it's basically like you're basically like, okay, are you going to dash attack or nair underneath me? And if they do that, and like you're doing this, and they just go underneath you, bam, you just hit them with like a drill or something like that. I do shield stop, but you can do whatever you want. You can do that. And then so that's one of them. Is, okay, if they're dash dancing and they come at you, bam, you hit them with that. And the only way they can hit you out of the air is if they hard read your full hop. And then another one you can do is you can do this, and you can do jump past, fade back, and you can make it ambiguous which side you're going to land on. See, like I
like that a lot.
So I can jump past him, and then he doesn't know whether I'm going to do this back air, or he doesn't know whether I'm going to do that back air. And so this is like a really big mix-up because it's completely ambiguous to him. Like, if you just watch, there's no way he can know which side I'm gonna land on ever.
Honestly, that last one you just hit where you landed on his head, I don't even know what side that was.
Exactly. Exactly. It's that ambiguous where, like, you really think you're gonna go the opposite direction and then you don't. And so, wow, that case. Okay. So that is like the main one, and then what you can do out of that is he's gonna think you're gonna set up this thing, and then what he'll do is he'll move backwards, or they'll move backwards. And so what you can do there is you do this, but instead of fading back, you fade in, and then you'll hit them as they retreat. Because they're going to want to get out of this spot. And if they go underneath you and you do this one, then you hit them. Like, if they know you're going to full hop, and they go towards you, this beats it. This one beats it. And if they stay in place, they get 50-50'd on their head. And if they go away, you do this one and hit them. And that's like the mix-up you have, basically. That's why full hop is so powerful, is because you have access to all three of those options. And to beat any individual one of those options, they would need to hard read your full hop. So that's why it's really good to use that to bait, and I want you to use that in like conjunction with the dash dance thing where you're here, and then you take some space. Oh, never mind. Oh, am I taking space? Oh, never mind. You know, and don't use the wave dash there like this. Oh, you know, or I'm giving up space. Just kidding. I'm coming back in. And so like using the dash dance and being comfortable, like basically instead of trying to wall them out, like if you think they're gonna run in right here into this spot, instead of doing this back air, you can either cut them off early as they're entering this space, because if you're doing this and you think they're going to try to approach you, like I'll do this a lot where I do fast, and then I do slow away, like that, and then I come back in. So it like very clearly shows them, like, oh look, he's going away, but I'm not actually going away. Or I'll go in like that, but I'm not actually going in. Like I'll do a slow dash like that. And so that can kind of get people to react, or if I think he's going to come in right here, I'll do a slow dash away, and then I'll do, because if I'm here and I dash away and then dare this spot, this actually keeps the same center line. So I'm not actually being greedy with space here. All I'm doing is punishing if he was greedy with space by taking the same space that I already occupied. Like that's already space that I own. So but I can go back and into it, and he can't really punish that too well unless he actually approaches. And if he gets into the range to punish this, then he also gets in the range to get hit by that. Like if he tries to punish this, he gets hit by that.
I'm definitely gonna go rewatch this. I think for next time I'm gonna work on this, but I'm curious how that sort of works around Falco's gun. Because I do feel like I get shut down a lot. Like I don't get the same freedom to dash dance.
And I against kind of like the lasers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'm down to do a lesson with you over it, but I would also recommend that you watch my lesson with Billy Bo Peep on my YouTube channel. Gotcha. Because I go over very similar situations of like taking and giving up space based on like Falco's laser and stuff like that. And so I think that could be like a really good additional resource for you if you're looking for Fox Falco in respect to the dash dance spacing.
Definitely, yeah, no.
And that's like totally a 2-hour lesson, and we go over like a lot of situations with the dash dances and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Anyway, I hope that this was useful, and I think there's some pretty clear things that you can work on. I think the changes to punish, like, yeah, they're a big deal, but I think as the lesson went on, the changes to make to neutral, I think, sort of took prominence. Mm-hmm. So I would say that, obviously, when you go over it, you can take it from both of those things, but I think we kind of found a good thing to, like, focus to improve on. So,
yeah,
do you have any additional questions?
You know, I think for right now, I'm good. I'm going to go watch this, probably take some actual, like, paper notes, but okay. I will be talking to you again pretty soon.
All right, yeah, awesome. If you have any extra questions, feel free to hit me up.
Definitely.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Thank you.